If you've never built a website before and you don't want to sit through a 30-minute tutorial before you make anything real, then this is the video for you. Vibe coding is basically this. You describe what you want in normal language. An AI agent turns that into a working draft, and then you keep tightening it by reacting to what you see. You're not starting by manually writing every line. You're starting with intent, then steering. In this session, we're building a simple website for a local business called Cedar Lane Hardware. I want to walk through it the way a beginner actually needs it explained. What you're looking at, what to type first, what the agent is doing while it thinks, and how to know what to change next. The interface is simple on purpose. The chat box is where you describe the site. The live preview is where you see the result update in real time. And if you're curious whether this is actually editing anything under the hood, the code tab shows the real files the agent is changing. You don't need to work in those files to get started, but it's useful proof that this isn't just a fake mock-up generator. Now here's the first big beginner rule. Don't try to get the perfect site in prompt 1. The first prompt should be broad but still small. You want the core pieces, the overall mood, and the kind of business you're building for. You don't want to micromanage every sentence, button, and color before you've seen a draft. So the first prompt we're sending is, build a friendly one-page website for Cedar Lane Hardware with a warm hero, 3 service cards, store hours, and a contact block. Keep it polished but simple. That's a good starter prompt because it gives the business name, the page type, the main sections, and the overall feel. It's enough direction to get a real first version on screen without boxing the agent into 1,000 tiny design decisions too early. When I send that, the agent starts working. In plain English, it's reading the current files, deciding what needs to be created or rewritten, writing those updates, and then refreshing the preview. In this run, it creates the page structure, the styling, and a little bit of behavior for things like scrolling and form feedback. Once that first version appears, this is where beginners should slow down. Don't rush into another prompt just because you can. Look at what's already working. We have a strong hero area at the top, the service cards are there, the store hours are there, and there's already a contact section. That's a huge win because the hard part at the beginning isn't perfection. It's getting from a blank screen to something real that you can react to. Now you start thinking like a director instead of a traditional coder. You're not buried in syntax. You're looking at the draft and asking what feels vague, what feels strong, and what deserves more emphasis. In this first pass, the structure is good, but the message is still a little soft. The headline could hit harder. The call to action could be more obvious. And if same-day key cutting is a real reason someone would choose this shop, that probably deserves more attention than it's getting right now. So the second prompt gets tighter on purpose. We say, tighten the hero copy, emphasize same-day key cutting, and make the call to action much clearer. Notice what's different about that second prompt. We're not asking for a brand new site. We're not piling on 5 unrelated ideas. We're reacting to what the first draft already showed us and sharpening one layer of the page at a time. That's the core loop of vibe coding when you're starting out. Prompt, inspect, react, refine. The agent goes back into the files, finds the parts controlling the hero text, the highlighted service area, and the button styling, then rewrites those pieces instead of starting over from scratch. And the second result is better for exactly that reason. The hero copy is punchier, same-day key cutting stands out more clearly. The main button is stronger and more direct. The site starts feeling less like a generic draft and more like something meant for this specific business. That's the lesson I really want beginners to take from this. Better results usually don't come from making the first prompt longer. They come from getting a usable draft on screen, noticing what's too vague, and then correcting one thing at a time. You don't need to know every file by heart on day 1. You don't need to write perfect prompts. You need to be able to describe what you want, evaluate the draft in front of you, and then make the next request more specific than the last one. For this Cedar Lane Hardware example, version 1 gave us a solid foundation. Version 2 made the value clearer and the message stronger. That's a real beginner workflow you can reuse right away. Start broad, get the draft on screen, and then iterate in small passes instead of trying to get everything perfect in one prompt. Subscribe to Build Things with AI for more AI tools, overviews, and tutorials.